Yeah, of course.
So hi Giles, thanks very much for taking the time today. I appreciate it's a very strange time at the moment with everything that's going on. How's
Absolutely.
everything for GTP Cricket, and how you staying busy?
Yes, it's good. Yeah, I mean, business has slowed, which is only understandable. I've still got a few orders coming in. I've got a couple of bats to make this weekend, and softs. Yeah, it's still going out, bits and bobs, but like I say, has slowed. Lots of refurbs. I think people are now taking the time to actually think, oh, we didn't get it done before the season was supposed to start, and now we've got that extra time. People are sort of taking the opportunity to get them done for and ready to go for when, fingers crossed, we do get going at some point this summer, which would be good.
And in terms of, you say, making bats, obviously you're a bat maker yourself. How did you get into it? What was the motivation to become a bat maker?
Yeah, I'm sure my story's probably quite different to a lot of people, I'd imagine. Used to play a lot of cricket when I was at school. Went off to university and didn't really play there at all. And then came back, did lots of things, lots of ski seasons, lots of travelling, things like that. And before I knew it, I hadn't played cricket for sort of 15 years. Picked it up again about 5 years ago. Um, Had to buy myself a bat, lots of kit. And I just honestly wondered how a cricket bat was made, and it went from there, really. And like you do a lot of things, had a look on YouTube, and watched a lot of videos from a guy called JP Gavin in Australia, who does a lot of content on there, and literally just watched everything I could find on there, read some books, and just sort of went about collecting some tools. Did a few refurbs to start, like my own bat and a few friends, and then sort of went from there. And luckily enough, I knew someone who knew David from XX Cricket in Norfolk, where I live now. And he got a few bits of sort of old wood and just sort of practiced on those. And then once I was happy with being able to do it, so I got a decent bit of wood for myself, made myself a bat. And really, that's as far as I was going to go. But then using that in my league cricket, people saw it, were interested in it, liked it. Could you make me one, this, that, and the other, and sort of snowball from there, really. So yeah, it's actually gone quite well. 3 years now, and we are making a fair number of custom-made bats, and we've got a soft range, and sort of snowballing from here, really.
Fantastic, and that's a great story actually, because you don't hear many stories like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you spoke about books that you've read. Which books would you recommend that people read if they were particularly interested in getting into bat making?
Yeah, actually, do you want me to go and grab it? I've got one that I can show.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
best one. Yeah, 2 seconds. Go
Cheers.
back in a sec. Yeah. Okay, I meant to grab it before. So this was one of the basically looking back at sort of how bats used to be made and things like that. So it's this one here. So it's quilt winders and pod shavers. See that front cover there. It literally just goes back to the beginning, how lots of things were done, sort of looking how they used to do it. And I found that really interesting for a start, and lots of little good things in there. But sort of just seeing how they used to be done and how it's progressed now, and going from there, really. And again, as much as I could get on YouTube videos, there's so much content out there. Some really good bat makers, and just watching and learning. And just doing it slowly, really. I didn't sell any bats or attempt to sell any bats until I was happy that I would buy one myself. So yeah, lots of sort of grade 3 bits of wood have been through my sort of workshop until I was happy to and happy to sell to other people, really.
And you mentioned obviously David from XX Cricket.
Yeah.
I know that he's incredibly supportive of people, and he's fantastic within the community. Have you spoken to any other bat makers, and who else has been supportive for you as you look to start a business?
I mean, I was lucky to. I mean, I don't know David, so I know him. Having a few conversations now, but a guy who plays at my cricket club, really good friends with him. Actually helps him out in the workshop a few times. That was fantastic, and he pressed the first few bits of wood I had and things like that, which was really, really good. I've been in contact with a few people on Instagram, really. Health Lever Cricket, they're a really good bunch. Choice Cricket as well, down in Kent, yeah. And Morton and Carlson, they're a new band, a new sort of brand, but they're really nice guys as well. So yeah, I think it's quite a good community. It's got a lot of bat repairers on there as well. That happy Owens Cricket in Wales, things like that. They're really good guys, and really, any questions you've got, just fire them a question on Instagram, they'll come straight back. Which I like to do as well. If anyone asks me any questions, just give them as much help as possible. Big shout out to Robert James as well from Norfolk as well. He's answered a lot of questions for me in the early days, which is really good.
Yeah, I was going to say I know a few of those guys, and they're all brilliant. You talk about the vision for the brand. I can see the bat just behind you there.
Oh yeah,
Obviously,
one of those. That's the 2019 stickers, the pink ones. They're still very popular actually. I do quite like those ones myself.
yeah, they look fantastic.
Yeah.
What's your vision for the brand? I guess obviously such a unique story to start the business. What's your vision going forward for it?
Yeah, well, it's very much, I work in a school. I'm a sports coach. Used to work for Norwich City, sort of coaching football and going to schools and doing different things. So it's very much started as a hobby and sort of progressed from there. I mean, I would love to do it full time one day. I couldn't think of anything better than in the morning going down to my own workshop and sort of working on my own, bats and projects that I've got to do. So that's the vision. So if I could take it full time one day, but obviously that is, for me, that's a bit in the future at the moment. So I do have another job in a school, and also got a 15-month-old son. Takes a lot of looking after. So time has suddenly, I didn't used to have a lot of time, and now I've hardly got any. So, but I really just wanted to grow it organically. A lot of people see the bats being used in and around Norwich or Norfolk, and they do ask, and I do get a lot of contacts from there. Got some people I've supplied in big clubs like Norwich, actually Norwich Cricket Club, and Swardston, some big clubs within Norwich. So that's really good. I just like people to see the stuff, like it, like the quality, sort of come to me really. I mean, Instagram's obviously a big tool, like it is for everyone these days. Try and not overdo content on there. I think you see some people, posting 5, 6, 7 times a day, and I think it's just sort of white noise in the end. So I like to post when I've got something to say, or a good picture of a new bat, something like that, and just hopefully people like the brand and sort of grow it from there, really.
Sure. And I know that obviously David started to do the videos at XX Cricket in the workshop about his brand. I think that's been terrific to kind of give people a greater insight into what it's like in the workshop. Was there any special moments where you made your first bat and you thought this is
it? I think it was when I had 3 bits of wood first of all, and I was happy with them. Shapes were nice, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. And then I dived straight in the deep end for myself. I actually went to David at XX Cricket and I said to him, "Can I buy?" Because I don't have a press. I don't have my own press. It's thousands of pounds I don't have at the moment. So I asked him if I could buy a handled and pressed clef from him. So I wanted to make myself a bat, and he actually said no one's ever asked him that before, so, which is quite strange. So yeah, he sold me a lovely bit of wood, and I actually made myself a bat, and that was the first time I was 100% happy with a bat. It was absolutely beautiful. It just the shape of it, the feel of it, the pickup, everything. When I used it, I thought, do you know what? That's pretty good. I might be able to do something with this. And that was the moment. I thought, yeah, I'm going to try and do this, see how it goes, and so it went from there, really.
That's fantastic. And obviously, we've just mentioned the bat behind you. Talk us through the design, the brand itself, and how you come up with the designs in that process.
So I'm very much someone who doodles. If you give me a pen and paper, I will doodle. I doodle. I can't not. GTP is actually my initials, Giles Tom Pickett. That's as simple as it gets. This was something I used to draw. It used to be sort of part of my signature a long time ago, but it was just my initials, really, just doodling around on my initials. So it's something that I've had. I think when I first started, a mate of mine said on Instagram straight away, I saw that when you were 11 in secondary school. So it used to be something like that was all over my books. What I was thinking of starting a brand and what it would be, I played around with calling it something else, and you see lots of brands or names that just random things sometimes. But I wanted to make it personal to me, and like I say, that for me has been with me since as long as I can remember. So it's. I think it looks pretty good on the bats as well. It's quite a sort of unique shape, and there's a few things we can do with it. I want to keep the stickers, with that logo as long as possible. But looking into doing sort of different things as well. But yeah, that's again. So it's something I've been working on since I was about 11.
They look fantastic, and I think
kind
of having a strong brand like that, it translates and resonates. But touch on the softs now for a second. How do you, I guess, you start making the bats, but then you get into gloves and pads and everything else. Relationships with suppliers, how did that start? And what's it like now?
Yeah, again, I didn't ever think I was going to make gloves or softs or bags. I didn't even know how you go about it, and so I just thought, started making a few bats, go from there. People asked, oh, do you do softs? I was like, no, I don't. Again, sort of researched into it, where are they made? Obviously, India, Pakistan, majority of all the softs are made. Made a few contacts on Instagram as well, which is quite scary to start off with, thinking, am I going to get what I've ordered? Again, small orders to start off with. Original softs came from Pakistan, lovely company out there, but all my stuff now comes to India. So you've got a really good relationship with a company out there. Great, really. I mean, anything you want, they'll accommodate you. Really good. They do mock-ups sort of the design. Make sure you're happy with that, and then go from there. But there's a few I've tried, but now I'm happy with the supplier I've got now. Really happy with him, and the stuff that's made, really well, quickly as well, and shipped out to you as quick as they can. So it's a really good relationship we've got going.
That's fantastic. And touching on the I guess you've spoken about players in the local leagues seeing you picking it up, and that's how the brand gained momentum. With social media, and obviously you're able to post images online, are you finding that that's able to boost your brand, getting customers from further afield, or do the majority of the customers still come from the local leagues?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, Instagram's it's amazing. I've got one of my first sponsored players is a guy called Brad Parry, who plays for Warminster. He's a South African, so he comes over for the summers and he's their overseas player. And he's been playing with stuff. He lives in Johannesburg, so he's been playing out there with my kit for a lot this season, just gone. So it's fantastic. So to think that I made a bat here and it's been playing in South Africa is, for me, it started as a little hobby. Is absolutely fantastic. Got a few guys, a couple of sponsored players playing on the Kent Prem Division as well. And yeah, lots of other people sort of further afield, which is really good. When I first started, a lot of my people in my own club use my stuff, which is great. It's good to have their support, but it's actually nice when the first person from a different club or a different county use my stuff, and you think, actually that is really good. They're not buying it because they're my mate. They've seen it, they like it, and they're willing to spend money on it, which is fantastic for me.
Yeah, and I guess one of the difficulties people find with Instagram, and this is from a business perspective now, is marketing it effectively. Now, obviously, you've got a strong brand, and you can try and communicate how great a bat is on Instagram, but people care about the pickup of a bat and how it feels in their hands and things. Yeah. How would you try to overcome that? And is that something that is still a challenge for you now?
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, I don't have any stock bats. They're all custom made. So, people contact me, whatever they want, weight, pickup, where they want the middle, everything, handle shape. So I make sort of one bat at a time, so I can really concentrate on it and get it perfect then. But like you say, it is, some people, I think if you're a type of person who needs to go and pick up the bat, I'm here obviously for people to come and visit, but Norwich is a long way from a lot of places. So, but I tend to, as much as I can, send them videos, pictures, everything of the process, so they can have a look at it, on the scales, whether pick up, and people seem to trust me as well. If I say this is this is what you're looking for, they give me a 2.9, mid to low middle, light pickup. They seem to trust me. That's what I can produce, and at the moment, I can. It's been going really well. But a lot of people in the area, they do come round. Lots of them trust you. They say they want a grade 1, bit heartwood or whatever they want. A lot of people do trust you. Some people love to come to the workshop and pick the clef out, which is, I love that, because then they can pick the exact one they want. Because like yourself, sometimes it's just on looks. Sometimes it's on look, sometimes it's on performance. So some people just pick the best looking bit of wood with the most grains, and other people actually spend a lot of time with a mallet, with a ball, tapping away, and they find out the one with 5 straight grains is actually the best. So as much as I can, if they can't get in here, it's just about communication for me. So I speak to people a lot on Instagram, like messages going all over the place, videos, and just sort of letting them know, showing them the process step by step, which people seem very happy with.